Kia ora, another fairly settled story across most of New Zealand. Plenty of clear sky, dry weather and sunshine right across the country. We are going to find some wetter weather moving in towards the south. That's a bit of an issue for later on Wednesday. But you can see for most of Tuesday afternoon, there's plenty of dry weather thanks to that large area of high pressure which stays in place right the way through the rest of today and through in towards the night time as well. Now there will still be areas of cloud to watch out for, perhaps an odd shower around those central parts of northern and down the far southwestern corner of the country. But for many of us it is a dry story, and our nighttime temperatures back into double figures for most of us. At the coolest down to around about 9 degrees Celsius through those southern parts of Canterbury, down towards places like Timaru. As we head on in towards Wednesday, high pressure remains across most of the North Island, and there's plenty of dry weather in store for you again. Down south though, we have got this next much more active feature, bringing some stronger winds through Southland and down to Fiordland and also Stewart Island. And you can see we also find that wetter weather pushing through towards those western areas as well as we head in towards the end of the day. But for many spots, there's plenty of dry weather in store, especially across the North Island. Again, a little bit of early morning mist or fog in some of those more inland areas, and a bit of a cloudier story around the likes of the Taranaki biting towards Horowhenua and down towards the Kapiti coast. But for most of the time, it is looking like a dry story, an odd isolated shower perhaps around those more eastern parts of Northland and Auckland. But really for most of us, it's a dry day. Towards the afternoon, we might catch an odd isolated shower springing up through those inland areas of southern Waikato in towards Waitomo. But again, even here, it'll be a very isolated affair. And for many of us, it is a dry story with plenty of sunshine as well. That'll help lift our temperatures too. Highs back to around about 27 degrees Celsius on that eastern coast, 20 down towards Wellington, and up to about 26 or so for Auckland too. So we head down towards the south island. We are going to start to find some wetter weather on that western coast, but you can see it starts off dry for many of us. Plenty of sunshine through parts of Nelson, Marlborough and down through Canterbury and even in towards Otago. As we go through the daytime though, we'll find as this next front moves up from the south, we will find those winds increasing through Southland. Some pretty blustery conditions through their gusts, perhaps even as high as 100 kilometres an hour in most exposed areas. But you can also see we'll find that rainfall pushing through. So the cloud builds in towards Fiordland and Westland through the daytime. Even up towards Buller, we'll find that cloud thickening up through the day. And there's some rain arriving through the ranges of Westland, but more especially down towards Fiordland. And there are some watches and warnings that kick into place at the end of the day on Wednesday. But on that eastern side, things are generally dry. But do watch out for those winds down through Fiordland and Southland and down towards Stewart Island. We will find they pick up through daytime ahead of that front, those northwesterlies, strongest between 3 p.m. and about 11 p.m. on Wednesday. We could find those gusts reaching 100 kilometres an hour or so, and perhaps those winds reaching severe gale in the most exposed areas. So rather a blustery story. But I think the benefit of those northwesterly winds we felt a little bit further northwards. Classic Fern effect up in towards the Canterbury Plains. Those temperatures are picking up. Highs back almost to 30 degrees Celsius through parts of Canterbury. 29 degrees Celsius, the highest there for the likes of, say, Christchurch. And overnight temperatures, nothing too cold either. As we head in towards Thursday, we'll carry on seeing that front moving northwards. It brings some heavy rainfall into Fiordland and up in towards particularly the ranges of Westland. There's a little bit of rain that makes its way across in towards the eastern side as well, but much more patchy affair. And you can see it's been a very slow moving feature with that high to the north, really stopping the northward progression of that rain. But we have got some severe weather watches and even a warning in place for the likes of Fjord. And north of about Doubtful Sound, that's where we're going to find the heaviest rainfall. Could be as much as 70 to 100 millimetres of rain in those areas of Fjorden as we go through the night time from Wednesday into the first part of Thursday. Watches as well for those areas of Fjorden south of about Doubtful Sound and across in towards the more western side of Southland and also in towards the ranges of Westland once we head towards that first part of Thursday as well. So it is looking like a bit of wetter weather down there, but for many of us, there's still plenty of dry weather still to come. That's it from me. There's more at metservice.com.